What's up, NDC? This is NDC TV. We're coming to you live and direct. Meet the candidates. I am your host, Sharufa Walker, founder and entrepreneur, building some dope social impact solutions here in Web3. And we are bringing all the candidates here to be able to catapult us into this historic moment. So, three houses, 29 candidates, live and direct, one-on-one exclusives to give you all the information that you need to get out and vote. Use your voice because it matters in this monumental moment. September 22nd, don't forget. So right now we got Kaz. Kaz, how are you?
Hey, Sharufa. I'm
How's
good. GM. So glad to be here.
a classic GM, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Kaz, let's jump right into it. Let the people know, who are you and what brought you to Near?
Right on. Yeah. So I'm Kaz. I'm in GWG. I've been building NDC for close to a year now, I think. So I'm at the core of the NDC operations to date, and I'd be happy to stick with it if you guys will elect me. But if not, I'm happy to hang around anyways. So who am I? I'm like an IT strategist on Web2 since 20 plus years with one of the big consulting houses. I've been consulting for Fortune 500s all over the world, traveled a lot. And then my last few years of IT consulting went into blockchain, advised clients on that for about 2 years. And then I just quit. I said, enough of this. I've been making rich people richer for too long, and I got to focus on making everyone richer. So I wanted to dedicate my life to universal basic income. And that's why I quit. I went into a company called Good Dollar, which is a Web3, full-on Web3 global. They give money to everyone. You can log on right now and get money if you want. And I've been down that road since then. 3 years now, full-time Web3 building. I realized that one of the biggest problems to solve is proof of personhood. My vision is to have a UBI scheme on every blockchain, but most blockchains don't do it. And the biggest problem isn't getting money, because we have magic internet money. We can make it, if you will. The biggest problem is actually proof of personhood. So I dove into that. I figured, I got to help somewhere. What can I do? What's the best value of my time? So I became real deep on proof of personhood. And that's how I joined NDC as well. So I was hacking in NearCon last year, together with Robert Zaremba, and we did a little thing called I Am Human. And then I met Blaze. I met a lot of the other OGs there. They brought me into NDC. Blaze asked me to come help with the proof of personhood stuff. And that's how I joined NDC and how I joined Near.
That's amazing, Kaz. I love the entrepreneurial leap that you took, coming out of corporate, deciding to kind of write your own path as you started your Web3 journey. And so many people in the ecosystem know about I Am Human, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that was the way that we had to get onboarded in order to vote in this election that's happening right now. So tell us a little bit more about why are you running? Because you announced in a very special way.
I did on your show, your AMA space, didn't I?
That's right, you
I
did.
hadn't planned on it. I'd been thinking about it for a long time, but I was in the camp of not running because I saw the smear campaigns and all the hate. I shouldn't say hate, but all the negative talk that's out there. As soon as you get into public limelight, and I'm not cut out for that, so I was not going to run. But then someone said, "Hey, doesn't it look bad if the GWG members don't run?" Someone said the rats are aborting the ship before it sinks. That's not at all right how I want it to look. So I want it to look good. Like, we're proud of what we built. We're really happy that we built something called NDC, and I'm super excited to see it launch. Whoever is going to be in charge of it, right? I'll support whoever gets elected. So that's why I'm running, and I'm also running because I got lots of things I want to do. So I'm Human, for example, we're only doing V1 right now. But there's so much more that needs to be done. We're only using a face scan right now, and that was never the intent to just be that. It was intended to be like select any number of options to verify yourself, and then that'll be it. Kind of like a Gitcoin passport. So I'm hanging around because I want to build Gitcoin passport, and I want NDC to sponsor that. That's one of the things, but there are so many other things that we want, to evolve NDC and into. It's a V1 right now, and V2 is going to be super important. There's so many things we want to do. Like we need to build privacy into the election. Right? It's entertaining and all to see who's running and who's voting for who and whatnot, but in the end, voting should be private. So we should build ZK stuff into that. We should have conviction voting. We never got around to getting conviction voting. We should do that instead of 29 votes for one per person. We should have conviction voting, much better system, quadratic. We should have a no KYC option. Right now, we had to put in so many different safety measures, but we want to have a no KYC option, and not so much blacklisting and whatnot, but a better KYC. There's so many different things I want to do with NDC, and then there's what I want to do with NEAR. So I want to build more of a circular economy. That's one of my key things. Oh my God, this is falling out. Never mind.
No, just keep going. It's all good, guys.
I'll survive. I'll survive with one earplug. Circular economy is one of my key platforms that I'm going to election on. Right now, the grant programs we're giving out NEAR, and there's some grant and dash. Some people take a grant and then just you don't see from them again. It also encourages people to offboard and change it into fiat or whatever, right? It would be so much better if we had a grant that was kind of locked in, so you had to spend it in the NEAR ecosystem in order to get value out of it. So I want to build a circular token, kind of like the Near Horizon credits used to be, but they never made it into a token. They made it into just a fictionary thing in a spreadsheet. So we should build it properly as a token, and we should do something that we can build on that. We can maybe give 20% NEAR as a grant, but then 80% should be in a circular token, right? And then I want to get. I don't want to say that the HOM shouldn't take decisions, but the House of Merit should get out of the way of taking decisions. And what I mean by that, we should have like a community fund or a quadratic, like a Gitcoin type protocol on NEAR. I want to build that, or someone to build that. And I want to sponsor that, because then the power is back into the community, right? So the House of Merit should be the guardians, and they should set it up. They should vet candidates, maybe candidate projects that could go into a round, but then the people should vote. Like, who gives the most value to the people? That's who should get the money, right? So that's House of Merit getting out of the way of deciding who gets grants. It also encourages efficiency. Like, it's so much more administratively efficient and low cost to do a Gitcoin style program than to have people at the top type of making decisions. So there's so many things I want to build.
Yeah, which I love, because you answered so many questions in one.
Yeah.
Which is powerful, because it means that you've really given this some thought.
I've thought about that. For sure. Like, there's so many things we want to do, and we just had to put them on the back burner, but now it's time to build them.
Yeah, it's time to put it out there, definitely. And the fact that you were in the GWG and you've built so many strong products, right, that are very familiar in the ecosystem, you have like a sound base, right, of what's needed. But your vision, because I love the whole universal basic income. I love the circular economy that you speak about. Your vision is one where you're really driving NEAR forward, right?
Yeah.
And thinking about the scalability of NEAR, right? Thinking about the good, the bad, the ugly, right? Like, in the context of what has NEAR done great, and what are some of the things that NEARs might have gotten wrong, or there's opportunity to be able to improve upon. Let the voters know, like, what would be your assessment of that right now?
So what NEAR is good at and maybe bad at?
Break it down, the good, the bad, the ugly, because you're thinking about the future already.
Yeah. So Near's a great place to be. We've got great tech. Like the innovation that Ilya and the team put forward is amazing. Like we got fast block times. We don't stop like Solana. We have Rust at our core of our smart contracts. We have cheap transactions, so it's a very very good tech. I love that. And then we have Boss, the blockchain operating system, right, which is showing a lot of good promise. Especially if you launch your own gateway, then you can really build decentralized dApps on Boss. A problem with that is that well, a couple of different problems. So one is that the widgets are exploding, and we don't have a central library of good widgets. So we need some sort of curation of those widgets. If that's a manual curation or if that's an AI curation, might want to add AI to developing new apps. So the orchestration of widgets could be an AI thing that we could add. But right now it's just a mess of all the widgets out there. Another problem is that developers can't really find a way to monetize what they're doing when they're building front ends on Boss. So we got to help them monetize that, and that's where my thinking on UBI comes in. It's probably not going to be a UBI on Near if I get it my way. It's more going to be like a citizen salary, where if you're a dev and you're shipping widgets, you're going to get more in citizen salary, right? And if you're doing other things that are good for the ecosystem of Near, such as registering to vote and actually voting, or running as a candidate, or participating in events, live events, and getting a POAP. There are so many things that we can do that we want to encourage people to do. And when they do that, they should get more, higher tier of the citizen salary, right? So that's one way of addressing the problem that devs have a hard time monetizing or making a good income, because as soon as they push something onto Boss, it's available for anyone else, and so there's no real incentive for devs. We want to create that incentive. There's other problems too. Like we've got a huge lack of liquidity. We've got a lack of users. But with the tech being so good, I think it makes Near a great place for building Web 2.5 kind of applications. So like the Sweatcoin and you think what you want of that, but they're driving a lot of transactions. Like we want to bring in like Mr. Beast. We got that. We had Kai Ching. Kai Ching's an excellent example of things you want to build on Near, because the tech is so amazing. And Near has a lot of strengths. I love the ecosystem.
That's wonderful. I think what's really powerful is that you're thinking about the Web 2.5, that bridge, right? And I know that that's one of the driving pillars for Near, right? And thinking about how do we bridge over the Web 2 community into Web 3, and how do we make sure that we're ensuring that education happens and also that sustainability happens, right? Because we bring people in, but if they're not able to like participate, or they're not able to be compensated, right, for the participation that then incentivize them to say, then we get it all wrong, right?
Yeah.
So fast forward, you got the seat, you got the election, it's all yours, you're in the House of Merit, right?
Yeah.
What do you hope to accomplish within this first term of V1 governance? Like, what does success look like for you at the end of your term, knowing that there's V2 right behind it and it's going to be a new body?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Well, it's part of what I want to accomplish is get to a better V2, because right now the GWG is going to cease to exist unless the House of Merit wants us to stay, and then we'll stay. But by default, we'll be default dead. So they're going to have to take up that mantle, right, to build a better V2, and that's what House of Merit needs to do, and that's what I want to do. I'm all the stuff I mentioned before: the ZK tech, the conviction voting, the no KYC. And the quadratic funding. So that's the other thing. So NDC is inherently, it's a lot of things, but at its very, very core, it's a grant-giving organization, right? So success means turning on the money spigots again. They've been shut off for a good year and a bit, and the community is hurting. So we need to turn on those money spigots, but we got to do it in a responsible way. So we have to develop like processes and procedures for what is a grant that is worth giving. And we should only give grants to projects that have some sort of sustainability future, longevity in the project, and we need to start evaluating, not just giving all the money in one go, but evaluating success. So we set up milestones, we set up OKRs and KPIs, and we evaluate, did they hit their targets or not, and then give money retroactively. So maybe there's a small little starting portion, but after that it should be retroactive. Like, did you bring value to Near? Then you get more money for it, right? So there's this inherent drive for the founders to stick around, to build more stuff, better value, and those are the projects we should fund. So more responsible, more well functioning grant giving would be the real outcome of success for V1.
That's amazing. So thinking about, the responsibility of the
Mm-hmm.
treasury for the House of
Oh
Mary,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And being very conscious of the needs of the community and the builders and the founders right now. And, you know, uh, capital is definitely one of them, right?
yeah,
In
yeah.
order to be able to launch, we all need support. But how do you maintain, or do you expect to be able to ensure equality, right, within the process, right? Because it's really important in a decentralized governance, right, that we aren't marginalizing communities, and there is equal opportunity for everyone to participate, especially within the grants program. So
Mm-hmm.
what are you planning to do to ensure that there is opportunity for all to participate?
Um, well, I think we should have uh, equality of opportunity, and that's what we need to measure rather than equality of outcome. So equality of outcome depends, real. It's not something that we can strive for because we don't know how well our devs are going to deliver. But when we select them, we need to be able to select them with equality of opportunity, right? So everyone has to have the same opportunity. And I'm a huge supporter, like Refi DAO and Minority Builders, for example. Good friends of mine, love them. And my own projects, I'm running a lot of non-white devs, if you will. Female devs, we gotta make sure that they all feel welcome. And beyond that, beyond giving opportunity of equality of opportunity, I think that the best thing we can do is just get out of the way, and not make anyone feel unwelcome, not make anyone feel threatened or harassed or anything else. Just get out of the way and make the open the road for the builders. Let them do what they do best.
That's amazing. Yeah, I agree. Allowing some freedom to take place, right?
Yep,
Instead of putting too many parameters and bars on it, you kind of stifle creativity and progress in doing that, right?
100%.
So
Yeah.
letting the voters know, like, they're going to the polls, they're looking for your handle, let them know your handle, and let them know why you cast. Let them know, what is that one thing about what you're bringing to the table, what you're bringing to the community, that you want them to know, and why they should vote for you.
I think there's a measure of responsibility and having been around for a bit, right? So there's a lot of candidates that just put their name forward and hope for the best. But really, what the candidate you need to select is one that has been around, that has founded before, that has built a lot of stuff, and that's been around near. So I've done all of those things, and I've also built a lot of the operational procedures and protocols. So there's a measure of like responsibility and pride in building and operating something that works well, right? So I've done that. I've been around the block a few times. So you want a responsible candidate that has a broad platform, that is really looking out for the little guy. Like, I want to get the grassroots funding started up. I don't care about the big, massive sale GB kind of projects. I want the grassroots to get funded. Start with the small little teams. If you're 2, 3, 4 people in your team, you should be able to get money. And if your idea is awesome, then it should compete on its merits, right? So you have a good idea, a small team, vote for me. I'm doing the grassroots funding for sure.
All right. Awesome, Kaz. Let them know what's your handle. How can they find you as they're in the polls?
So I'm Kazander Dad Took my someone else took my original gamer tag, Cassandra. So when I played my kids, I changed it to Cassandra Dad, and that just stuck around. So I'm Cassandra Dad dot near.
All righty. Well, best of luck to you, Kaz. We're giving you all the support in the world. Get out and vote. September 22nd. Your voice, your vote matters. This is the opportunity. So let's make it happen in DC. Until next time, thanks so much, Kaz.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All righty. Bye.